Hello, my dear soul family and twins. I hope you are extremely well. I started to write something, but in the end, I decided to make a video about preparing and reconnecting with your beloved in the physical. And I must stress that this is based upon my own personal experience, things that I've actually done, and leading to reconnecting and physically meeting my beloved recently. So here goes from the heart, and I can take it from, let's say, 2 weeks leading up to meeting in the physical, which occurred last weekend, on the weekend of the full moon, of the blood moon. And one of the things that I should say is manifesting is manifesting. We should manifest without condition, without precondition, and intention has to be positive, and intention and manifestation do work together. And the intention is to actually physically enact something, because where there's no action, there's no manifestation. We're not waiting for divine signs or anything else. Our action is what is needed to make the intention more clear, and this is our instruction, and this is when we start to receive signs and synchronicities and confirmation that we're on the right path. So I must stress that from the very beginning. There's a difference between manifesting with precondition, like we would say, I would like something if it's in for my highest good. Take away that precondition, because everything is for your highest good, whether it's a good or not so good situation. Everything is for your highest good, because you're learning all the time, you're learning every day. And when you stop to learn, you're defeating the purpose of manifesting. We need to learn every day, because learning is healthy for our brain. It expands our brain and allows us to, let's say, confront different situations and tests our ego. It tests all of what we've learned. So many of you are also saying, I want. If you look at the word want, it is a demand, and a demand has an expectation. I want a new car means you want a new car. If you don't get that new car, you're forever going to be disappointed. If you change the tone of that similar that demand into a desire, I would like. You see the difference? I would like a new car. There's no demand there. There's no expectation. It's a desire. And if you achieve it, you're happy. If you don't achieve it, you're also happy. So there is a big distinct difference with a demand and a desire. I would like to live happily ever after with my twin. That's a desire. I want to live happily ever after with my twin is a demand. So that's what I'm trying to also guide you on, to change the way that you manifest, in a way that you're likely to see better results, and you're taking away this psychological expectation. Everything is as it should be. Everything is how it should be. Everything will happen that is supposed to happen. And when you change that mindset, you begin to manifest, and you begin to see things happen in front of you. Things happen on a day-by-day basis. And what I can say is things have happened on a day-by-day basis in a very, very positive and profound way for the last 4 weeks. And it's amazing. I haven't written about it. I've written about some of it, but I've kept some of it very, very close to my chest, because I believe that some things do and should remain personal. But now I'm going to tell you, or share with you, my experience of preparing and reconnecting in the physical with my twin, with my beloved. The weeks leading up to my visit, I was thinking, analyzing, what will be, how can it be, should it be like this, can it be like this, I want this, I would like this, I desire this. And I started to communicate on a 3D level. We should do this. Can we do this? Is it possible to do this? And what I found myself doing was trying to predetermine the end result. I was putting expectation on the whole situation, internally, externally, and I was applying that external pressure or this external expectation on a third party, on another person, on somebody that I hadn't seen for 13, 14 months, who was nothing in my life except a person that I was communicating with. And eventually this, let's say, bubble of expectation was flown firmly in my face, along the words, glad that you're excited and happy that you're coming, but don't expect anything. Don't plan for anything, stop thinking about it, stop analyzing it. And I took that in the most, let's say, my ego came out. And I was just thinking to myself, so what have I done? Is I've destroyed something, which is an old template. I've attempted to predetermine the outcome with expectations and demands on other people, which is not living in the here and now. Yes, we can all be excited about reconnecting, we can all be excited about going to visit, but we should have no expectation. We should stop this hyping ourselves up. And this is basically pushing our ego back into the realms where it belongs, back out of our lives, and allowing the universe to do the work that she needs to do. And as long as we are putting these expectations or preconditions, the universe is not going to be able to do it, because your expectation is your expectation. She has another plan. So it's almost as if you need to become completely numb to the situation. You need to be oblivious to what's going on, and that's very hard from a psychological perspective, from a human being perspective, and from any other perspective that you can possibly think of. And what I firmly believe about this journey is every test or every challenge or everything that we've tried to overcome or have overcome in our work, the work is always ongoing. We're learning new things every day. And I have heard of twins meeting their beloveds, and it's been a disaster. And the reason it's a disaster is because they had expectations, or they forced their views or their ideas or their wishes, how it could be or how it should be, instead of letting it simply be as it should be. And this basically shows me that egos are still very much in play. We can say, I'm ready to meet and I'm ready to reconnect. But are you really? Are you really ready to meet? Are you going to meet your counterpart, your beloved, your twin, with preconceived ideas about what the ending should be or how it should be, based upon everything that you've read, everything that you've heard from your fellow soul family members, how it should be? Really, guys, expect the unexpected and avoid as much as possible to predetermine or to think about any possible outcomes. I know that what happened to me when I reconnected was a complete surprise, and it was a beautiful surprise. And it was so unbelievably good. And I still have no expectations today of how it can be, because when I went there, of course I was nervous. The people that I stayed with are friends of mine. I've since discovered over the weekend that they are also twins. They understand. They have been instrumental in ensuring that when I was there, I was taken care of. I was fed, I was looked after, we went places, we did things, and they were actually physically present during one of our meetings. That's because they know each other. So the universe does have a divine plan. Your soul contract has a plan. But do try at all costs to avoid expecting anything. Because when I arrived there, I felt so much at home. I was in a big capital city in the world, which is running at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I was at peace. I didn't have any expectations when I got on the plane. I was watching for the signs and symbols before I got onto the plane, and I saw them. I saw statues of two people merging. This is before I got on the plane. Big bronze statues. I posted them on my Facebook page. I may put them into this video also, so that you can see them. This was before I flew, so I knew this was a sign that something positive was going to happen. And when I arrived early. I had pre-booked a train to take me to the city center, and instead of trying to reorganize everything, I just sat down and chilled and had a coffee and waited for an hour. And I was just totally grounded. I was totally at one with myself and in peace. And this is the frame of mind that you should have if you're planning to reunite or reconnect with your beloved. And as the evening progressed, we sat down, we had dinner, and the whole story. So what happened? Why did it happen? And I explained what I felt was the reason, with a few short sentences, and that was the end of the issue. And when I met my beloved, of course I was nervous. We were in a restaurant. Our friends were there, and it was a very, very, I can't say uncomfortable. It was, my stomach started turning over. I became nervous. So what I did was excuse myself from the table. I went outside, had a cigarette, and chilled. I relaxed. I came back down to earth, and I let whatever thought process I was going through disappear. And I went back in, sat down and talked, and then we actually had time to ourselves. We had another 3 or 4 hours talking to ourselves, and at that time the connection was there. I know what I feel inside. I know what I saw, and no matter what was discussed, the ego was being tested, looking for a reaction from me, and there was no reaction. There was a response. Reaction, response. Two completely different things. And the only way that you're able to give a response, a proper response from your heart, is by putting your ego to sleep. It takes training, it takes time, I don't believe it takes practice. If the divine wants you to experience this connection, you have already been prepared. So there's no point in manifesting this negative thought process, because that sends out the wrong vibe. You want to be going in a very, very with a very, very open heart, and expect the unexpected. You may not get the answers that you want or desire or wish for, but it is what it is. And no matter what was discussed between me and my beloved, I couldn't wish for a better outcome. I actually saw her. I connected with her at another level, and I recognized her, and my soul recognized her. Whether she was listening or not, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. So after dinner, or after trudging ourselves around Moscow, she went home and I went back to my friend's house. We had arranged that she would contact me the next day to arrange to meet again. And I got an email the next morning saying, okay, come here at XYZ place at sometime in the evening, and I'll meet you again, and I'll bring my son and I'll bring my mother, because they're part of the family. They know me. And what I experienced that evening was a complete reconnection, reunion with her family. Her son treated me like a father, mother treated me like a son-in-law, and it was so peaceful. It was so, everyone was laughing, everyone was joking. There was nothing talking about the past. Yes, talking about my children, talking about what they've experienced over the last year, but it was this as if it was old friends talking, old souls meeting each other again. Fortunately, it was the full moon, also on Monday, and I took pictures, and we left each other knowing that we will see each other again. In what way, shape or form, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I have that connection, and I have the connection with my soul son, my soul family. And the next morning I was leaving, and my friend who accommodated me said, "Dean, everything will be okay. Don't worry." I'm not worried. And I've come home. Everything is fine here. I've had communication from my beloved saying thank you. Everything was fine. We all had fun. So the atmosphere is perfect as can be. But my life goes on. Her life goes on. My son's life goes on. Her mother's life goes on. And I'm not thinking about what happens next, because there's no point, because it's already being taken care of by the universe. What will happen will happen. And I've made the decision myself to just allow the dust to settle and let everything gel together. As much as I would like to and want to, my ego wants, come on, now send a meaning, send a message, cool. There's no point, because everything that's led up to this point has been orchestrated, not by me, not by her, but by the universe. And this is, I can't stress this enough, this is one of the most beautiful experiences that you can experience. You may not have the answer that you desire, or you may not have the end result that you desire, but people, you have to remember, whatever you experience when you reconnect and remeld with your beloved is a whole new experience. So just go back to the first time that you met. How was it then? Did you get to know each other? Did you go out for a few times, or 3 or 4 times, or maybe 10 or 20 times before you became intimate? Before you became connected physically? Just go back to those times. Think about when you have a new relationship with somebody. Unless you're meeting somebody in a nightclub for a one-night stand, I don't believe any relationship is based upon what happens on between the sheets. What happens is what happens at the heart and the heart center, and the connection of minds, and what the eyes see, and what the ears hear, and what the tongue speaks. This is how your connection is measured, and it is a brand new connection. You could say reconnection, but it's a brand new connection, because you're practicing your new templates. And you will push buttons, they will push buttons. But the thing is, your ego, if it's asleep, is not going to have the opportunity to react, because you're responding, and you're responding with love. You're responding with an open heart, fully. And you can say all of the things that you want to say. I love you. I'd like to be with you. I'd like to see how this develops. And you may get an answer back that isn't sitting well with your ego, but because your heart is open and it's unconditional love, it doesn't matter. You have, you will have, it will be what it's supposed to be. And this is the most important thing to remember. I've left, I know when I was there, I was at home. And I know that I will be back there again soon. Within a month or 6 weeks, I will go. Things I was told while I was there, opportunities have already been given to me whilst I was there. And opportunities were given to them where I am. So it's a manifestation, it's an intention. And continue that manifestation, continue that intention in a positive way. And hold that person, hold your beloved in love. Hold that experience in love, and take the whole positive out of it. Irrespective if you have a not so good time, take the positive. The fact is you met. And if you recall, the twin journey is about healing. When you connect and reconnect, you will take a piece of information, or you will be given a piece of information that will allow you to heal a little bit more, or will allow them to heal a little bit more. And then you will come again together, and whatever happens, happens. Live your life today for the here and now, and allow the universe to do the work that she needs to do. Let the magic play, because it is magical. There you go. Love and light, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Namaste.